Videos are created way before the record button is pressed. That's why poor planning and careless approach deny a video a chance for success. If you're looking to deliver a successful video project, you can't ignore these 7 tips. Let's roll. The first mistake I see people making is not thinking about the video production process in terms of business. And because of that, not taking responsibility for the mistakes that caused problems. Since you're the one receiving the check from the client, you'll be the only one who the client will be looking to for a successful outcome. There are filmmakers in the industry who tend to blame somebody else when things go wrong during production. But as a producer or the one in charge, remember that you are the last line of defense between problems and successful deliverables. So instead of trying to rationalize, think of how you can creatively solve the problem at hand. When you're taking responsibility for mistakes and learning from them and find ways to improve your skills, then your workflow for the next project improves. Every new challenge you overcome adds to the compounding experience, making you not only a better creative but also a better leader. Please drop me a comment below. I'd like to know what you think. The second mistake is rushing into production before all of the pre-production items have been completed and approved with the client. This is especially important when the client can't physically be present during production. It's usually the case with commercials and product videos, so make absolutely sure you verify with your client the following items before you even schedule a production date: shot list, location, talent, set design, wardrobe, hair and makeup. A shot list with descriptive texts and images will help your client imagine how their video may end up looking like. My team would also make sure to send our clients images of proposed locations to make sure the client would have an understanding of the space. Some projects may call for a specific location, and confirming a location with the client well in advance will save you from problems on the day of the shoot. It is exact same process with the talent, and we created an entire catalog of actors who we work with that we may send to our clients. But you should send at least a very nice photo and preferably a short audition, even if it's filmed on the phone, to help your client feel the vibe of actors who will be representing their brand. Discuss the set design with the client in advance and make sure to get or purchase the specific items you need. Don't overlook the wardrobe and have a conversation on outfit options with your actors well in advance. Ask them to bring at least 3 different looks, preferably with different colors and no visible logos. However, always bring a steamer and a lint roller, because most of the time the actors will not prep all their wardrobe items, since they don't know which articles you'll select for them to wear. It's always a great idea to confirm the nails, hair and makeup with the talent and the client. There are instances where these have to adhere to specific standard depending on the project. If a makeup artist is not budgeted, we would have powder, hairspray, a comb and a lint roller. Just bare necessities that will help us make people look better in the frame. You don't want to have a nice location and lighting and have somebody with a shiny skin. It doesn't look good on camera, so we use powder to reduce the glare. And hey, if you're getting value, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content about business of filmmaking. The third mistake video productions often make is not scouting the location. They just show up and start shooting. It's way better to check out the location before you film, and usually I can take some pictures and film videos with my phone for the client. This helps me explore the angles and think through each shot. I would also check out the location for outlets and test them, making sure they actually work. I'll look for natural light coming from windows and listen for sound acoustics if the project requires sound recording. Finally, I would look at the furniture and decor, notating if we need to bring any other design elements with us. One of the first things I do when I scout a location is clap. If the location has a lot of echo, we will know to bring sound-absorbing materials with us. But if the location is too large, we would have to look for a different location. So make sure to stop and listen for a loud air conditioning unit. Ask the property manager if that can be turned off. Is there a refrigerator or loud electronics? How about the traffic noises outside of the window? Are neighbors doing house repairs? Consider all these factors when looking for a location. Make sure and ask about parking. How many crew members will you have? How many cars will you be bringing? That may affect the budget of the production. So make sure you understand well in advance where your crew will be parking and exactly how you will be bringing all of the gear onto the set. If it's not possible to scout the location in person, we'd ask the property owner or the client to send us photos of that location. They'd send them over by text or email so we can get a feel of the space ahead of time and ask any relevant questions. And sometimes neither is an option and we just have to show up on a day off and improvise. Here's what we typically do in this situation. Before we unload the gear, we head into the location, find the property owner or the client, and ask them to show us the premises. This gives me a chance to really think about each shot, and only then do we get the equipment out and start setting up. I prefer not to bring in all the gear right away because once production kicks off, it would be a waste of time to keep moving the gear around, avoiding it being in a shot. The fourth mistake is not prepping the gear. I've seen it too many times on productions where videographers pull out empty batteries, can't find their SD cards, or don't have the necessary audio cables. Gear prep is essential every time. Keep your batteries charged at all times and make sure you always return cards and cables back into camera cases. Clean your lenses and perform the necessary camera maintenance in between shoots. All these small maintenance tasks will pay off big during the shoot because you wouldn't need to waste your time of production on those. Production gear loves order, plain and simple. Make sure to think through your shots for the entire script. This will help you understand what camera support you may need to bring with you, whether you'll be using dolly, gimbal, or just plain sticks. The same goes for lighting equipment. Knowing how many lights you'd want to set up will help you bring the necessary number of light stands. Mistake number 5 is shooting without checking the camera settings and checking the frame. Know the resolution you'd need for your deliverables. If your camera allows, you can even shoot at a high resolution like 6K to later be able to reframe the shot and downscale it to 4K. Sometimes we may have certain shots in a commercial being recorded at different frame rates. Double check if you want your next shot to be slow-mo at 60 frames per second or the usual 24. Don't forget to check the frame before you press record. Is your shot leveled? Is the background composed well and free of stuff that doesn't belong in the shot? Check the focus because who needs a soft looking shot, right? I use my monitor's focus assist, which shows all that's in focus in bright red. Mistake number 6 is not having sound monitored and recorded. Don't spend most setup time on your camera and lighting and then rush the sound right before the client comes. You want to make sure and allow enough time to properly set up and check the sound. Otherwise, you're risking not finding a properly recorded soundtrack among your assets. This actually happened on one of the shoots I've been a part of. The A-cam operator had a sound feed recorded into his camera, but he didn't even have headphones on throughout the shoot. Later on, I had a director calling me asking if I knew where the sound was being recorded because he couldn't find it. But then he called me the next day to let me know that he found the audio. Apparently that camera records 6 audio tracks and our sound was recorded on the bottom 2. Realizing that the client flew in from another state for an interview and the sound was missing was a scary moment and reminded me to always double check sound levels moving on the camera monitor and also actively monitor sound through a headset. Something I do is record a sound backup. I just output a signal from my Zoom H4n audio recorder to my camera, which also records clean sound coming from the mic directly into the video. Doing it this way eliminates the need to sync sound in post. And the final mistake is neglecting the production schedule. First of all, know how long the location is available for and leave at least an hour of time at the end to wrap the set. Plan ahead on how much time you would need to pack your gear and move it out, and also clean up. As a rule, leave the location in a better condition than how it was before your arrival. This will not only speak highly of your brand, but will also help in case you'd want to book that location again. Think ahead about the layout of your location and the changes in the natural lighting that may occur. You may have to rearrange the shooting order of scenes depending on the sun's location. At certain times of day, the lighting is pretty consistent for hours, so the light coming through a window will stay at a similar exposure. But in the morning or in the evening, the light changes dramatically and quickly. Within 15 to 20 minutes, the look of your scene will change completely, and you need to account for that even before the shoot day. Allow at least 30 minutes for your crew to break break and eat lunch, and ask the cast and crew in advance if they'd be with you all day or if they'd need to leave earlier. In some cases, the production may go longer, and you need to know in advance if your team can potentially stay longer if necessary. And one last bite of wisdom from my professor: if you're on time, you're late; if you're early, you're on time. If you want to learn more about filmmaking, we have a lot of other videos that you're welcome to watch. In the next video, I'll discuss 10 mistakes you should avoid while building your videography business. Stay tuned.